From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time now for Up Close and Personal here on The Horse's Mouth, of course, at the bar at Tommy Max, and brought to you by my good friends at Carpet Man Flooring. My guest this time around is an old friend of mine. We're going to talk ball. It's Coach John Bonamego. He's been in the NFL, been in college, and also now with BSN Sports. Let's welcome him to the show. Coach, how are you, my man?
Great to see you, Tommy.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's awesome. We ran into each other at a Jags practice recently.
Sir.
I didn't expect to see you there.
Yep.
And when I saw it, I was like, oh, man, I haven't seen you in forever. Probably since 99, 2000, somewhere around there.
But you know what I always say about friendships?
Yeah.
They're like, it's like the light up in the attic, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to go up there and check the switch every day. If it's wired the right way, anytime you flip that switch, it's going to turn on and you just pick up where you left off.
Yeah, unless the bulb wears out.
Yeah. But if it's wired the right way, it's always going to work for us. So.
All right, Coach, let's get into it, man. I know you love talking ball. I love talking ball, too. You've been at the NFL ranks, head coaching ranks at Central Michigan for 3 or 4 years. A great career, recently retired. Esque. You look back. What do you think? Like are you like, wow, I can't believe I accomplished all that? Or what do you think? When you look
I just
back?
feel, number one, incredibly blessed. For the opportunities that I had. Even just getting in the NFL, and I know we share a common mentor in Coach Coughlin. Here's somebody that took a chance on me, believed in me, and really catapulted my career. I mean, I wouldn't have done anything in the NFL had it not been for Tom Coughlin believing me. So, as I look back, it's all about the people. It's the players that I've had the opportunity to work with.
Sure.
The guys that I've recruited in college, and watching them have success, and then even young players coming into the NFL, and then watching their careers progress. It's incredibly satisfying. There's a lot of pride in that. And, honestly, I think, this first fall will really be a litmus test for me. I don't know what's going to happen. It's, adjusting to life after football.
The real world.
Yeah, it's different. And so
it is.
I'm sure, once the fall starts up, I know I'll have some withdrawal. But it's the trade-off is getting to having a lot more time at home with family and kind of catching up on some of the things that frankly we've missed over the last 25 or more years.
What was your last NFL stint? The Rams?
The Rams.
You were there for what, 4 years?
2 years.
2 years.
And then last year I was still under contract with them, and I went up to Iowa State with Matt Campbell, who I respect immensely and I think does a phenomenal job. We got to be good friends. His last year as head coach at Toledo before he took the Iowa State job was my first year at Central Michigan. And even though we're rivals, it was a healthy rivalry. We formed a good friendship. And I mean, going back to college and that, role kind of helping out, I had a ball. I had an absolute ball.
I bet you did. And going from being a special teams coach to the head coach at Central, I mean, talk about that. People don't realize that you're like a CEO of that program, right? I mean, you got to run everything.
Being as a special teams coach, you're not necessarily on the fast track or the direct path to being a head coach.
Head coach, right.
But I would say, and obviously I was able to convince people enough that, there are a lot of parallels between the duties of a special teams coordinator and the head coach. Other than the head coach, I was the only person that spoke to the team, the entire team every single day. You're constantly evaluating players and personnel to try to figure out, what roles they're going to fill. You're acutely aware of the roster and the roster management and how many players at each position. And then there's the situational awareness that the things you have to be prepared for and that you're aware of as the game, unfolds, because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And preparation's the key. And we learned that. I'd give a lot of credit to Coach Coughlin.
Sure.
And the work that he put in that and the detail and
attention to detail.
All of those things. And it was a lot of fun having an opportunity to go in really and establish and build a culture. That to me was the one.
Who other than Coach Coughlin, any other mentors that you mentioned?
A lot. Obviously Coach Gantz, Frank Gantz. Mike Sherman helped me a lot in Green Bay. Coach Sherman had gone from Green Bay back to college ranks at Texas A&M.
Right,
so when I was preparing, I knew there was going to be questions about, how do you transition back to college football after being in the NFL so long? So who better than somebody that you really trust, respect, and somebody that's done it,
Yep.
So he was able to help me a lot. I mean, really, Jim Caldwell.
Yeah,
I mean, Coach
great.
Caldwell, it's hard to find anybody better man than him. Coach Sutton, Bob Sutton, who was my head coach at Army.
Yeah.
Really all of the guys, Jim Schwartz, even Matt Patricia, I love Matt. Matt, I learned a lot. You get to a point in your career you don't think you can learn a lot or much more. Man, I learned a tremendous amount from being around Matt P. Up in,
and you got to put your ego aside and learn, right? You got to be open to that learn, no matter what you've done.
Again, no matter what you're doing, you better be learning if you want to keep growing. And even in this role, I'm learning all the time.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've got a great mentor in my VP, Todd Northrup. He's been with BSN Sports for over 20 years, and he has really kind of, it's funny, like we talk every day, we Zoom probably 10 times a week.
Okay.
And, we haven't met one time yet face to face, but he's really, really taken me under his wing, really kind of work with me to teach me the business, and we're really carving out some special things.
All right, before we get into BSN, I do have, who's your favorite player to ever coach?
Oh, Tom McMahon.
No. I wasn't looking for that.